Hello everyone and welcome back to Verizon VALORANT Game Changers NA for Series 2. It has been cooking so far. It's been some great matches and cannot wait to get started with today for our lower finals. See who's going to be joining Shopify Rebellion in our grand finals tomorrow. My name's Sierra Dawn. I'll be your host for today. And joining me on the analyst desk, I have none other than the duo, Baby Bay and Doug. Doug, it's time for another Game Changers. It's been delivering so far.
I'm so freaking excited. I feel like a kid Christmas mornings where I get to catch up on the tournament and then get to join in as things are getting at their peak. And of course, I feel responsible and I feel like I need to apologize because you're going to have to hold our hands throughout this entire show. I'm so sorry. There's no way Dre and I don't go off the rails. This will be fine.
No, it's fine. We're just here to sit and chill and watch some Valorant. It's going to be a great day. And Baby Bay, so far during the competition, great Valorant is what we've gotten.
Yeah, yesterday we had the pleasure of seeing such a banger of a matchup, and honestly, Passion Project almost pulled it off. I mean, if it wasn't for the heroics of Floor, this would be a whole different conversation. Shopify would be in lowers for the first time in like what it feels like forever, and yeah, I can't believe that game and how close it was, considering what big of a dominant performance Floor had.
Yeah, if you missed out on yesterday's game, you absolutely missed out. But we do have a little video of all the highlights to get you up to speed. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Verizon VALORANT Game Changers for North America. Day 4 of our competition.
Floor takes him down. Who he has that Guardian. Unstable helping out in that mix. And Cove to get out. Puka, Rocket up over the top floor. Still alive.
Still alive. They don't even have Puka control. They're trying to fight back in with it with a pink shell, but Unstable just coming right around the edge there. That's a flawless round.
Floor straight through the head of Sabui. Support is there from Alexis. Power Pixel, the hero of last round, holding the line. Annoying is so far ahead of the rest of the team there.
Aaron gets one on the train quickly. Jazzy around the corner with that nasty shot and a couple.
Pressured away on the other side, 1-for-1, not from her. She's going to try and run Sarah down, but the delay is
down to 12 seconds on the clock. Unstable looking for 2 quick kills from the corner over in elbow lazy line.
Pivotal, but Mel is buying time. It's a fight into elbow instead. Lexia live on the site. Floor joining her. Floor will do more. The game could now hinge on this round. Another ult pop for Shopify. Floor connects onto one. Jazzy is damaged. They are stalling this time so far. Second nade.
So work opportunity when that switch opens, and then the post falls apart. A re-aggro.
They still suspect her in this position, but...
And this round is no different. She has been massive. And they're looking for it.
Behind by the wall, but she still has power to support and watch that lane.
Leah's gonna come through the site quick. Lace in that tried and true spot, almost cementing a statue of herself.
Clutch coming out from the latest addition from Solstice, a player that switched over to this team.
Delay everything that they can. Watching for Saunders going to
Saunders, but they still have to break the wall.
Here, quick molly on the spike. Rope play goes down.
Quite looking towards the B site. What do you do for FlyQuest?
Behind the box, Saunders goes down quickly, and Lace is patient. We talked about this before, FlyQuest. And it is B, and I know it is here.
Trying to pop the way that they have and getting success.
It cannot be stated how close that upper finals match was between Shopify Rebellion and Passion Project. When you look at this bracket off the rip, it's like, oh yeah, Doug, Shopify Rebellion are in the grand finals again. What a shock. But it was a game that went to double overtime. Like, this has been heat so far.
Yeah, it was like Dre was saying earlier, it easily could have gone the other way. And I think that's what's been so much fun about watching Game Changers evolve from the very beginning up until now, is we're seeing the gap, get closer and closer between the top teams, and that's what has delivered something like Shopify needing 96, 94 kills in a best of 3 in order to stay up. It's just dumb, man. Like, it's dumb that she's able to do that. And honestly, massive kudos to Passion Project to be able to push Shopify in such a way that that's what was demanded of them. It required that level of heroics for Shopify to get on top. And yeah, Sierra, as you were saying, they got there. You know, it's another day, another grand final for Shopify. But the way they got there was drastically different. And that's what has me so excited for this tournament.
it'll be a great match ahead of us. It'll be a passion project trying to make their way for that rematch up against the FlyQuest Red that have been this lower bracket demon, getting knocked down to that lower bracket really early, and each match they've been looking better and better. This one, though, is definitely going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, baby, because this is a matchup we've seen before going back to the first qualifiers, and Passion Project, well, they looked damn good there.
I completely agree, but I have to say that FlyQuest Red, it's like you said, they're on a revenge tour right now, right? Like, they just beat Solstice, who took them out, 2-0 in the... Or, sorry, they beat Solstice 2-0, who took them out in the uppers, and now they're able to bring it back and get revenge on a Passion Project who they're 2-1 against, or 1-2 against all year, right? Passion Project has seemed to just have their number, and I feel like this is a good opportunity for them to, you know, bring this all the way back and actually make a run and try to see what they can do against a Shopify. But on the other end, for Passion Project, I mean, they're going to want to get right back into that final against Shopify. So it's funny how the story is forming for both of these teams, because Passion Project wants to get revenge for sure on Shopify on a match that was a nail biter. And then for FlyQuest Red, I mean, they're full guns blazing for this Passion Project team.
Yeah, I think you can't look past their previous matchup, right? The fact that that's what sets the stage for this match is going to be so much fun. The fact that that was all the way back, and I think it was close qualifiers 1, and that's what kept FlyQuest out of the grand finals, and ultimately they had their other chances, but they had to qualify for the main event through points. Like, there's a little something extra sweet, and Sierra, as you were saying, for Passion Project, for FlyQuest, it's insane because they've only dropped the maps that they dropped against Solstice. Their lower bracket run has been flawless. So we're seeing both of these teams peak at the exact best possible time for what's due to be a gigabanger.
100% agree. This one is going to be one for the ages. And we got to talk about this FlyQuest roster first, because there definitely is a little bit of stock to take in the last time that they met. But this was also a smidge of a different look when we're looking at FlyQuest Red. Lace, dealing with the wrist injury, wasn't competing last time. And now that we have the whole squad together, baby babe, this team has looked fire.
Yeah, and Lace is so insane on that initiator role, specifically the Sova. I mean, that Sunset performance was nuts. 25, 13, and 11. 42% headshot. I mean, an absolute freak. Look at all the highlights. Yeah, I mean, there was Icebox as well. But yeah, I mean, the way that she's able to enable the supporting teammates and everything like that, and just being able to frag on top of it, it's so impressive. It's something that you see, honestly, in champs like Leo do quite a bit, which is so weird. But yeah, I don't know how they do it on the initiator role like that.
I mean, the amount of value that Lace has been able to provide this team is insane. And I mean, it's by committee, right? Like, yes, every single one of them delivers. Starbound has historically been ridiculous. You've got Sandra, who's going to do their thing. You know, all of that like comes together and it fits every time. But the value that Lace and Dodo have been able to provide this team throughout this tournament is nuts. They're both like top 5. I think they're like number 3 and number 5 in ACS. They're both like top 6 or something like that in KD. Like, they've been so influential and so immense in getting this team up until this point that I can't wait to see them match up. Again, all of the pieces are pointing and all of the arrows are directing us towards what should be a really freaking good series.
Oh yeah, and we got to talk about Lace and Donut a little bit more, because the Sunset performance we saw from them was lights out. Donut, the first couple of rounds, it just looked like she was done with the game. She just wanted to get out of there, clean 2-0 this baby and move on to the next. And when Donut is fragging, I mean, it's so good. You can fangirl about anyone on this team, but like the performance they put up yesterday, you have to dive deeper into.
Yeah, it's so explosive, and it enables everybody else to get more confident, and that's where you see Lace stepping it up. All of a sudden, Starbound's going for crazy plays, crazy like lurk plays, lurk timings, and yeah, they just bring it all together. Honestly, they just feed off of one another. So yeah, I think it's important in this series that they do start off strong, like you stated. Like, I think it's a key factor in this matchup and how they're gonna come out on top if they do.
Yeah, especially too, Donut has said in interviews that like some days the momentum isn't quite there, but Donut so far during this main event has been on a cooker, and I really do think the rest of the team too. I know we've talked a lot about Lace. We're watching the frag compilation of Lace right now, but even people that we don't get to talk about quite as much on the team, Starbound's so good, Sonder being able to set the team up, Doug, like I don't know, it's a perfect marinade.
I do think, for as much as we've talked about Lace, to be honest with you, I don't know that it's possible to accurately put together the value that she provides for this team, because as you're mentioning, all of the conversations where, you know, sometimes it feels like the momentum is there and it feels good for Dota, and other times it doesn't. Like, it's Lace's job to, even when it doesn't feel good, to set Dota up to do their thing. And oftentimes these initiators, they don't get the love that they deserve. They don't get the flowers that they should be getting. They're the ones who are doing all the dirty work, and it feels really good to be able to see a player like Lace really shine in that role and lean into it and make it their own, while also continuing to set up their team in times when it doesn't always naturally come easy, which is, it's tough. And like Dre, I mean, you know, there are days where you have it and there are days where you don't, and that's where you look at your initiator to enable you to have it on the days that you don't.
Yeah, you want to get set up as cleanly as possible, even if you're whiffing, even if your aim's not there. And it's part of being a duelist. It's a mental battle with yourself always. It's this constant back and forth of, am I good enough today? You know, if I start off like rough, am I going to be able to bring it back? And all it takes sometimes is just that one piece of utility. They set you up with a 1K, a 2K, or even just like an anti-eco round where you're just farming these free kills to just get you the momentum to move forward and actually just close out games on that role specifically. And when you have teammates that can step up for you, that actually just plays into your own confidence as well, because you're like, listen, now's my time. If we're doing good without me playing good, you know, imagine if I was to just play normal. So I think this is a big battle that a lot of duelists go through.
It'll be a big battle, not just for the duelists, but for the entire team, because Passion Project on the opposing end, they're formidable opponents. Passion Project throughout this tournament, I mean, even if they're the unsigned team, Doug, looking at the names across the board, these have been Game Changers staples, and together they've been so strong. This team's just been looking incredible.
I mean, yeah, you go down the list, and obviously there are a lot of names that are very familiar, and they provide a ton of value and all those things. But my eyes, I mean, there are so many we could talk about in this roster, actually, but my eyes goes towards Jazzykins. Like, think about, for as long as Game Changers has been around, Jazzy's been doing her thing. And now she's doing it on an unsigned team, and now she's still pushing top 3, and now she's still flirting with the possibility of getting to the global at the end of the year, and she's done it with so many different parts and so many different settings. And I think that's the mark of a leader, right? Like, that's the mark of someone who's really able to navigate through those nasty waters and get your team to the top. I think, again, you can really have an identical conversation almost for any member on this roster, but I think the leadership and the experience that Jazzy's able to provide is just so good.
100%. Yeah. This is like the big redemption arc too for Jazzy and the team here, Jay. Because honestly, like, coming together, they're the unsigned team. They're a team that can go all the way, and I feel like they're kind of not quite robbed yesterday, but kind of robbed yesterday of being in that grand finals.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing is what Vans was talking about, where he said that like kind of like they all switch off IGLing with whoever's just feeling it in the moment. That's so rare to have as a team, and I think the only other team that we've heard do something similar to this, other than Old Phase, is PRX. They're a team that actually applied this style of calling, where it's like, if we're just feeling it, like, anyone can step up and call and make the play. And in order to do that, you got to have complete and utter trust within your entire team.
Yeah.
And that's a statement of why they're here right now, is they all trust each other. They all listen to each other's calls. Even if it's not the right one, you know, as long as you're on the same page, it can work out to your benefit. Even though it didn't in yesterday's match, I mean, I think they have a really good chance of bringing it back and wanting to get that revenge on Shopify like they did. It all starts here, though. Like, obviously, they're going to have to take out FlyQuest Red, who is definitely gunning towards taking them out, because they got their own little history and their own little beef, right, within the scene. So it's definitely going to be one of I think it should be a crazy.
It will be. And the trust that we've seen between the team, they've been working together so well. The crossfires they set up playing off the util, it's been really, really nice. And someone we have to talk about a little bit more, who we neglected to mention at somehow at this point, has been PowerPixel. Doug, we have been talking about them so much on yesterday's broadcast, and for good reason. The setups and even just their own fragging potential has been top notch.
Yeah, I think I was comfortable leaving PowerPixel off the conversation just because we knew. I mean, we knew it was inevitable. Last year, PowerPixel was inevitable. This year, same thing. Like, again, and maybe I'm nerding out about IGLs and initiators too much, but I think the duelists get all the love, and that's fine. But they're only enabled by the supporting pieces around them. And I think PowerPixel is such a good example of someone who does an incredible job at facilitating and allowing the pieces around them to shine. And it just so happens that PowerPixel is also having an outrageous tournament in their own right? Like they're still delivering in massive ways. They're like, again, I want to say it's like top 5 in ACS or something like that. Like, it's a very impressive performance that PowerPixel has put up. And that's so redemptive when you think about some of the more down moments that PowerPixel had at the end of the year last year. So for them to be able to continue to deliver in this manner, for them to be able to continue to put their team in a position to compete for international lands is massive, because when you have the rough year that they had at the end of the last year, that leaves a sour taste in your mouth, and you know that's something that they want to get rid of. And so far, PowerPixel has done just that.
Yeah, and at this point, lower finals, 1 match away from making their way into the grand finals to try and have that redemption, to try and take down Shopify Rebellion, and it all starts here. Map picks and bans, this one's going to be a best of 5, considering it is the lower finals. We're going to be pushing the teams to the limit here, Baby Bay, and it's all going to be kicking off on Bind.
Yeah, and this is where Passion Project, I mean, if I'm correct, they beat Shopify, who I carry Shopify in high regards on a map like Bind. And I was so impressed with the way that they played it. They played the double controller Cypher comp. It's a very common comp now in EMEA. And the way that they played it, it went to OT, but I feel like they had really good macro in general, and they dealt with the storm of floor and were able to close out that map. So I think they have a really good opportunity to take this one away. It is their map pick. That being said, though, FlyQuest, they're no slouch to Bind themselves. I think this year they have a 70% win rate on the map too, 75% win rate on it. So it's gonna be a good game, no matter what. But last time these two teams met on this map, it was Passion Project coming out on top, 13-4, which was like a complete domination, right? We'll see.
It's just so tough, man, because you look up and down, really, for both of these squads. I mean, it feels like more so for FlyQuest, and they're coming in from the lower side of things, but it doesn't feel like any of them have a bad map. It doesn't feel like any of them are like a glaring weakness. And the kicker is, I'm really curious about why this panned out this way. Breeze is the only weakness for both of these teams. It's a perma for both of them, and neither of them banned it. They let it float. So who knows what we're gonna get on Breeze? But that's gotta feel like a coin toss and a weakness for both sides. I think the rest of the series is going to be good against good, and I think that's one of the fun things about how this panned out. Yes, there may be more reps for FlyQuest on the other side, but Breeze feels like the tipping point in this series, and of course, it's right in the middle of the series, no less.
I'm excited for that. That means we get it absolutely guaranteed no matter what. We get to, I don't normally say that I'm excited to see Breeze maps, but I'm excited for this one once we get to there. But Bind, this is all where we're going to see if FlyQuest Red has that momentum to be starting off the series, or how this will go. Because, last time, baby, when teams met up, this was a really dominant victory on the end of Passion Project. This was also a different look coming out from FlyQuest Red. It was a different agent composition. We didn't have Lace there. So even if this was pretty one-sided last time, it's been a bit of time. This could go either way. I'm excited to see what we get once we get into agent select.
Yeah, and it's funny because obviously we just got back from Shanghai, and I don't want to take any light away from this, but there was this theme in Shanghai where it was third time is the charm, and right now for FlyQuest Red, they have a chance to make it to be the third time the charm, where they can actually take out Passion Project on this map. The first time they played, it was like 20 infinite overtime, right? Second time around, they got completely rolled. So let's see if this saying is actually true, and let's see if they can step up to the plate. And I know as a fact that with the coaching staff for FlyQuest Red, Hovey and everyone over there, they do a really good job of anti-stratting and making good setups. So I mean, they were able to watch that game yesterday of Passion Project and Shopify go the distance. I know they had their own series, but I'm sure that they did a lot of good prep for this game. So I think they might have a really good shot here of taking this one away.
Third time's the charm. I absolutely love that. Agent select ready, Doug. Of course, we're getting to see a little bit of a switch up coming up from FlyQuest.
Yeah, the Astra is not super common, but I really like it. And honestly, Thay is a player that we didn't talk about very much, and that's another player that, as much as Lace is important, Donut's important, I think Thay really feels like the crux of this whole operation. Oftentimes, you'll see callers struggle in the fragging department, and that's something that has plagued Thay in the past. So I'm really curious to see how she does. I think Astra also in general just tends to be more of a passive agent when it comes to fragging on the server itself, because there are so many different things going on that Thea is responsible for. So I love the Astra pick. I know it's very different, but bigger than that too, I really want to see how Thea performs. I know that historically Thea has been ridiculous and has the possibility and has the capability of stepping up in the big situations such as this. FlyQuest will need that from her again.
100%. Considering too, they know that this one was a little bit difficult last time. I'm hoping and expecting to see a turnaround from FlyQuest Red. Whether it's going to be enough to be taking down the first map of Bind against the strong Passion Project, we'll have to see. But time to get into the match and send on over to Mimi and Ender for match number 1.
Thanks very much. Yes, this is the map that Passion Project took over Shopify Rebellion just last night. All signs in that series pointed to them winning and being in the final today. But now they have to play a grueling best of 5 here, starting on a map they are strong at, but against a team who has been making a massive rally in this lower bracket, Christy.
Absolutely. I mean, FlyQuest Red dropping to the lower bracket shocked everyone, and I mean everyone, including, I think, FlyQuest, but they're coming off an important revenge match yesterday where they beat the Solstice team that they lost to initially, and now they have to beat Passion Project on what looked like their strongest map yesterday. It's a really interesting comp they're running with Thea on the Astra, and we'll see what they can get done starting off an attack, because, Mimi, it looks like we're about to fight to the death over A-Short here.
Only one slot left in that finals, and it's going to start aggressive. A contact down short. Jazzy makes a bit of contact, spamming through the smoke, but is forced to fall away. FlyQuest will now show that full presence. Flashes go over, but Dodo still stalled for now, and Unstable just trying to police this area, but instead it's going to be a refight back towards Showers as FlyQuest contact out.
Oh, I like how FlyQuest have just snuck up here, getting all the way over into U-Haul. Passion Project don't really have a forward line, and that's their last flash they just used to scout that one out from Unstable. So they're aware of the push, and actually Passion Project have taken so much space outside Showers, they're re-wrapping onto short. They could catch a monster timing here if FlyQuest look to go back and plant.
FlyQuest now looking towards that plant, but this flank has not been activated just yet. Tap on the spike. Only one player holding that flank. Sabui on the swing for the shot to start. There's 3 more lined up. Sabui on the triple. Trade eventually will come, and the plant is down, but Starbound left alone. Position already spotted out, and it's a 4v1 to make this retake happen. Jazzykins has them trapped. And eventually these players will meet up to try and close this one out.
Yeah, there's nowhere for Starbound really to go here. Players already baiting out on the spike, forcing them to go for the swing, and they take care of business. Passion Project, I really like the way they played that round. It was a complete, like, magnets repelling each other situation. When FlyQuest creep into short, Passion Project back out of that area, even though they wanted to fight it so much. And that decision to go for the double wrap out of Showers, I mean, you're looking at it right here. FlyQuest were caught completely off guard.
Really lovely stuff by this Passion Project squad. We saw them losing, honestly, a lot of these early rounds to Shopify in that last game, having to kind of rally back into some of those halves, especially in the later parts, and had a real problem with letting the ult snowball for Fluorescent. So good to see them getting on the board early here in this lower bracket.
Especially because I think it was their attack where they really made that the majority of their rounds won here on Bind. They started off strong, but then started slipping towards the back half of their defense. Now, of course, trying to control actually both orbs. You can see it. They've got a camera Cypher set up over in Showers, spotting any potential players out there, and they are awaiting for this aggro from FlyQuest down below.
Someone's there.
Flash goes in. Jackie is pretty blind here, but the re-aggression is lovely. Unstable and Sabui will keep this one under control, and that's something we saw a lot in that game yesterday for Passion Project. With this comp, they love going for these walk pushes in the mid-round, setting up trap plays towards long. Things like that were really effective against Shopify.
They absolutely were. Honestly, I just think the way Passion Project in general like to call is to, once they find out where the stack is of a team, they'll usually move away from it on either of their sides. Here was one of the cases where they end up, you know, just force fighting both sides into one another. They do a really good job of finding holes in the enemy's setups. Even here, you know, refighting into the line, complete control over the spike. Not too much that FlyQuest can hope to accomplish here in terms of actually getting a kill or even reclaiming the spike. That thing is way too far gone to do anything with, and even though you can find a couple of kills as Lace, at the end of the day, it's going to be Passion Project with 2.
What do you make of this Astra comp for FlyQuest? Because we don't really see any teams in VCT run the Astra on this map anymore.
Honestly, I'm not a huge fan. I do think the ultimate can be pretty interesting, especially in some post-plant situations or on the attacking side, just guaranteeing that you can get an ult down. And I do think it gives you good abilities, like especially on your default, you can put down stars in hookah, or you can see the star be long, where if any defender tries to aggro on those areas, you see it in showers too, that can become a stun, that can become a pull. So it makes your defaulting really, really strong. But when it comes to execing, I just can't help but feel like Brimstone clears her in every way.
Passion Project, another one of these contact plays we've seen many a time. Lace holding this angle, double swing in. She'll spot them both, and FlyQuest will react by taking space in long. Those players in Hookah now a little bit trapped, but the wall will allow them to hop down safely.
FlyQuest not leaving any gaps in their defense, but there's still a walk up into sand, unstable. They're still looking for it. Will end up falling back into Hookah, and yeah, FlyQuest are just going to put that orb into Saunders' hands and rotate back into maybe one of these lurks. I do believe Starbound just saw the tripwire on A short, so they know that's the Cypher side of the map, but there's still a very real possibility they just jump into Teleporter off of those two lurks in A, creeping up into showers.
Crazy Lion holding close. Great clear by Thea. That's a clean opener for Fly. They'll call back into A, and the second anchor taken care of. Free sight.
Wingman makes it so easy to plant. Unstable is trying to sneak out into backside, but FlyQuest continuing to look forward. Actually with very deep smokes to hold on to some backside control, playing right up close and personal. Jazzy gets one, but that's a near flawless round for FlyQuest.
Yeah, beautiful stuff from them. We're really seeing one of those strengths coming into play of this double controller comp. You can always be conditioning that Viper wall there and still have impact across map with your Astra, even if she's a second lurker.
And I love seeing already that FlyQuest have done their homework. They know that Passion Project love to take space, especially outside of B, either B long or out of Hookah into Sands. And their default there setup was watching all four lanes, so it's a little bit slow to start off their rounds, but it means that Passion Project are going to have a much tougher time actually catching a lot of the timings that they did in their game yesterday versus Shopify.
Similar setup for Passion Project. They'll send 3 out towards long. And that Brimstone will keep FlyQuest away for now. But this time, they're going to go for a little re-aggro towards showers.
Trying to hold on to those ult orbs, I believe. Again, Saunders just won off of that, so it makes sense to fight extremities of the map. FlyQuest going to do their best to force back through it, but you see the dog gets instantly canceled by a nice paint shell. It's on the other side of the map. Thea gets her kill. Very easy, going back into line and gets another too. FlyQuest's A-lurks have been lights out in mostly to do with Thea.
Yeah, back-to-back round now. Thea getting the opener in showers, and it's an open A site yet again, unstable. Seen this one before, trying to contact forward, and not quite ready for Starbound on that forward angle. This round might already be retired, only 100 credits left for the two defenders from Passion Project.
Yeah, there could be a case to either call a timeout here or for Passion Project just really change up how they're deciding to hold on to the sites, because that is now 2 rounds they've been absolutely blown to pieces over on that A side into showers. And it comes because, you know, you can't really crunch on that showers lurk when that fight is going so deep, when you're also getting pressured down into B long. And Passion Project are just trying to hold on, maybe get some exits on the way out. Hold on.
This is getting a little funny. Sabui could do some real damage on the exit. Already has her ultimate.
I think they're too fast for Sabui to get anything.
Yeah. Maybe Sandra will stick around. Yeah, that's 1 kill at least. So not the worst of endings here, but still that FlyQuest economy is going to be in a good spot, and their ults are starting to come around here.
Yeah, it's no Game of Thrones Season 8, but it's not great. At the end of the day, honestly, Thea, look at that. Such great work. At the same time, she's getting those fights too. Starbound, they're working up into A short, which is very nice to see as well. The sort of combination, that macro play between the lurkers. And I think FlyQuest pivoting away from that lurk style, anticipating an adjustment from Passion Project, is exactly the right move. They're going to try to blitz back into B long here after showing a much slower default the last few rounds.
That same Brimsmoke as last round, but this time with no one behind it. They found the weak site here and are looking to sell up long, at least get this orb online.
Meanwhile, Passion Project, 3 players into showers, nobody even on this B site. 3 Sheriffs in the bank, so retake is going to be a little bit tough. But we'll see if Jazzykins or Subui could activate. Jazzykins actually going on the wide flank. So Passion Project slow down on this retake. They need to open up some time for her to get some work done over from the attacking side of the map.
One issue, though, playing against Asastra, so much stall in the post plants. They're going to start by fighting forward. FlyQuest send that ult around the corner as Starbound deals with the flank, and Dodonut locks things down towards the spawn side as well. Only 3 left. And the swing in from Elbow is going to put this one to bed. Unstable with the Sheriff is locked out of the round.
Yeah, that's a nice post plant from FlyQuest. Good crossfire from sight to have that elbow swing too. And that was Saunders' Thrash coming into play there as well. So very nice little piece coming in from FlyQuest. Now they've actually got the Cosmic Divide to work with as well. And I'm curious where they end up wanting to use that, whether it is just to guarantee an A plant or maybe do some funny business over towards that B site. And now just reading sort of the tendencies of FlyQuest. The 3 rounds they haven't gone into their default. It's been pistol, round 2, and then that eco half-buy from Passion Project. Now they're back into the default, so it seems like versus rifle rounds, you're going to see this setup, the 2-1-1-1, very slow. Make sure they can spot out where that aggro is going to be and make it impossible for Passion Project to overstep too much.
FlyQuest has forced Passion Project to put a ton of resources into long here. That re-clear with their double initiator utility has been super strong to take this space. This time the double lurks on A are grouped up towards short together.
I was just about to say, anticipating maybe a different hold here. Some kind of a trap party and shower, something like this. As a matter of fact, Passion Project playing fairly passive on both sides of the map. First trip dealt with, clearing back over into short. And Passion Project, because of that wall, aren't sure if the short player has backed away or is still staying here, but they're doubled up, and now with the TPs, they know it's going to be an A-pop.
Oh, and down goes Power Pixel in backside. That's a massive opener. These 2 lurkers have been ripping the A site apart, and it's again trouble for Lazy Lion. The only one left on this site. Seekers to try and flood in, but Starbound has found some space. Not in time. Pit's gonna drop. Wingman is down. Spike on the floor, and the fights are good for Unstable. Picking up a double and now securing space. There's still time maybe to pivot though.
Yeah, they can TP.
Late here.
Lace was left over on B the entire time, has crept all the way back into spawn. What a shot! Just dealing with the 1 player falling back. FlyQuest with full control of the site, and she's looking for a little bit more. Lace has been so lights out and continues to be with the 3K.
Lace is just excellent for this FlyQuest squad. No matter what team she's on, no matter what role she's on, she is so good for those late round moments. And a massive lurk from both sides here.
It's fantastic macro too, because Lace had used all of her utility when they were going into that default over by B, so that's why they leave her going for that lurk. She's playing Jet without a dash at that point, you know, Counter-Strike Joe, you have no utility, and that's how she's able to go for that fast lurk when all those players are pulled over into the A site. It's really, really nice decisions from FlyQuest.
So the economy for Passion Project down to just 1 hero rifle, and FlyQuest are going to pick up the pace. Double satchel into the trip. Dodonut is caught off guard, and the Sheriffs will find their mark. Unstable to flash forward, and a gun recovered, but the teleport's looking to come through. Maybe a pivot back to B here for FlyQuest.
Yeah, a little bit awkward. I think that was just a accidental step through from Starbound. Might have been hit by a flash. Still, though, FlyQuest got what they came for. Control into U-Haul. Stable's been playing these angles so aggressively. They've been flooding in the backside, refighting into U-Haul. Peeking over on the top truck. I mean, look at that. Unfortunately, Lazy Lion falls, and now FlyQuest look for that re-engage into backside flash combo into the back. Unstable can't do anything about that, and Thea continues to wreak havoc.
The way that these A anchors have been set up for Passion Project has just not been working here. It seems round after round, FlyQuest is managing to creep up on an angle, catch someone by surprise, and isolate a fight for these openers. It has been repeated lurk openings on this site. This round it was that faster play, but still this clear weakness shown as Jazzykins is just going to be taken down here to gain a 5-2 lead already for FlyQuest.
Seemed like Passion Project just crumbled a little bit with the change of pace in that round. Once FlyQuest froze, you then had Unstable, Lazy Line both at different times just sort of swinging and looking for their own fights. It wasn't that coordinated site play that we've come to expect from them that worked so well for them yesterday. So they're gonna pump the brakes themselves, call a timeout here, and rework that A site. I think that's exactly what they have to do, Mimi.
So what are you looking for? Do you want to see more forward stuff from Passion Project, or just maybe reworking how their anchors are set up on that site?
I mean, very simple things coming into a round like this. If they've been tracking which side of a short that Starbound has been throwing the Viper Orb from, they can then look to just like insta showstopper dive. Maybe that's a little predictable, so they don't want to end up using that. And all things considered, now FlyQuest have abused showers, they've abused a short, so I think at this point you're probably looking to switch your passive side of the map, your weak side, over towards B, and maybe get a little bit more aggressive onto the A side of the map, whether that is with an early aggro play, a trap play with, you know, your Raze rocket, something like this. I just want to see them put bodies and more forward fights over towards A, because FlyQuest have just taken so much space, especially down short, for free with that Viper wall going up.
But it's a 3-2 setup again. Continuing with this heavier lean towards B.
And I don't always hate this coming out of a timeout where your setup is so much expected to shift. We actually have a different camera over on A, so that's different and won't immediately reveal Passion Project's intentions. Off that camera, PowerPixel can swing and take a fight, whether it's players coming out of showers or coming up into short. But at this point, Passion Project should be very well aware that's an orb farmed in showers, and the default from FlyQuest has shifted to be very A-heavy early on.
So this execute is coming. Deep smokes on the site. The flash combo to combine with the Raze rocket up over the top. Lazy Lion was spotted by that Dizzy. And Dodo Nut is trying to follow up the dog kill, in fact, off the damage from the rocket. And Dodo combining off that one. Again, the A anchors are gone. Unstable is here, but they don't have much to do. One flash kind of bide time for teammates to come back in, but a big opportunity gained. Now the next trouble in this round is Sonder. Shorty posted close. A dog to be popped around the corner, a possibility. Bit of damage coming through, and Sonder somehow will get out with her life. Now the second stage of this post plant. A fall back towards the spawn side for the attackers. And a rocket invested. Can they even get deep enough to follow this up? That's a connection on to Sonder. So 3v3, but time now a massive issue, and Thea trades things back into an advantage. Unstable from Heaven trying to protect. Yuto being invested, and Sabui is gone from the nade. Round over. Unstable is out of this one.
Another good hit from FlyQuest. I mean, that one, a pretty fast acceleration after they take the orb into showers. And I love the way that they have been hitting into this A site with the Aster smokes. It's never the two smokes in the middle of sight. It's always the deep ones towards Heaven, towards Elbow. And what it allows them to do is wrap into U-Haul here, right? The ult does enough damage that the dog is going to be able to bite for a kill. But it's those pieces, primarily because they're not running into any early fight where they know exactly where you're going to be playing, right? Because if they're taking showers for free, they take short for free, you're either back triple or you're in U-Haul. The ult can clear both of those things so easily, and Passion Project still have no real answer to it.
Dog up B long, and this was finally the round where that setup was adjusted a little bit. And now FlyQuest prodding a different part of the map. Pull out util early. And really, they've been winning, not just in these rounds, but in the ult game. Seems like every time this long orb or that showers orb is being picked up by FlyQuest, and they are just snowballing. With an ult like this, Thrash being invested on this kind of half-buy for Passion Project, as everyone is forced to vacate the site.
Sabui ended up getting a shower or a kill up in Hookah, switches over to a Vandal. It's not so easy for FlyQuest. It's a great position from Sabui at the moment, but spam on the return nullifies that. Maybe a double teleport now for Passion Project to continue going into this fight, but it's a half-buy. There's a Sheriff on PowerPixel, the smoke into Hookah. Not to mention an ultimate re-clearing back out into Elbow. It would be an absolute miracle to win out in this post plant, and maybe it's going to happen. Up on top of site, Jazzy and Lazy start things off strongly, and it continues. They in a 1-on-2 now. Star out onto the spike. Should be able to cancel that stick. But she's got to get moving. Jazzykins is there for the 3K. And there's enough time in the round. Passion Project just worked something out there. Completely pulled that out of nowhere.
And the key to that round was maintaining showers control. FlyQuest only sent one player into that part of the map, and that lurk was not late enough to actually dissuade the Brim from holding that space. The pressure not quite enough coming from long. And that snowballs into the teleports coming through and a pinch on that retake to win it.
Yeah, just that 1v1 up into Hookah made things real awkward. Even though the spam kill ended up getting it, the fact there was a rifle just picked up means the Passion Project still have a chance to have a pretty solid half here, all things considered. Not too far away from a Seekers, from a Viper's Pit. They're definitely going to have those before the half is over.
Similar look from FlyQuest, going back towards long. Made down a little bit earlier this time, but a satchel beyond it. And a lot of util put in. That Brimstone is stuck in the corner. Sabui, though, was not even looked for. Sonder is taken care of. The trade is good, though, so we're even at 4v4.
It's a big stack from Passion Project over towards the A side as well. Jazzykins is completely isolated into B. But I like the idea stepping into Hookah is there and gets the kill. Once again, a 1v1 is secured in Hookah for Passion Project, and it makes B site so hard to accelerate into.
Re-clear from Unstable, but it's a lurk on the other side, going both ways. Two players have re-pushed through showers. And Unstable is still on this site. FlyQuest will call back into this lurk, and that's great awareness from Starbound, but not ready for the second. PowerPixel now the only one on this site, and the spike coming in quickly. Molly might delay a little time, but I think even a gap to get through that one, and these players are out. PowerPixel, however, has to buy time. Teammates here to support. The swing is excellent, and PowerPixel cleans up the round. Passion Project finally stringing two together.
What was that about the teammates being there to support? I don't know if PowerPixel needed that or asked for it.
You'd think they'd wait a second more, but it's fine, just win the round.
No. Gonna win all of those. It's even like the trade on that double showers lurk finally paying off. Right, it's funny because every time Passion Project get proactive, they're winning rounds. The showers walk on pistol, there. The 2 times they've stepped up into Hook and taken those fights, it's been working for them. I want to continue seeing that from them in these last couple of rounds.
What's the reply from FlyQuest now? Starting to run low on the money, but have rifles to work with here. That same default for the Raze to take space in to showers. Raze rocket gained off of that. They might just excel into A here. Stun onto the Viper site for trips already being broken down. Lazy Lion. And they find a gap in this one. Circumvent the utility. Plants coming in. The fuse on that rocket yet to connect is Lazy Lion. And PowerPixel this time step up as the anchors. 3 kills found. An adjustment not in time to deal with Dodonut. So still trouble here. FlyQuest have a 2 versus 4. And now this flank is coming through. Dog up. Jazzykins full HP. A swing off the flash. Beautiful shot from her. And Dodo might just not have enough HP. Nearly gets another shot there, but the nade from Jazzy will put an end to things.
These last 2 rounds are rounds that absolutely wake you up as Passion Project, right? PowerPixel comes off of that 2K finish of the previous round, and then all of a sudden, them and Lazy Lion, they are owning on the site in those anchor positions that they've been getting carved up on all day long. This is exactly the way to reinvigorate yourself going back into the second half here with 3 round wins in a row. And now, 5 ultimates at their disposal.
Yeah, pretty good way to end out this half. What are they going to cook up with it, though? Those active plays you're talking about have been really good thus far, but Jesse's actually buying into an operator instead. Might be changing the pace to something a little slower.
I still think this could work, right? You have the operator, but if it's a B hit, you still have the showstopper to retake into B. And FlyQuest, they're trying to force through that hit very, very quickly. Does
Rash is going to miss out there.
Does Dodo even slow down? Maybe for a moment, and now the spam is coming in. The Seekers are giving just a red carpet for Unstable to shoot down off of that. The op on the angle leads to Jazzykin securing another kill. And this defense has really turned around for Passion Project.
Chance to still tie things at 6. Dog will spot 2 out towards long. 4 players here, and that site was still active on the other side. It's a difficult one to navigate here for FlyQuest. They do still have util on both their initiators and satchels for Dodonut. But with no smokes, I mean, they can't really re-exec B, it feels like.
There's a world where Lace can get a kill and the Seekers can come into play. At this point, there's only the 2 ultimates, but if the time starts running down, you're never going to be able to plant the spike versus a Brim and Raze ult.
35 seconds. And the wall is only just coming back up. Still no smokes to get into this one. Unstable and PowerPixel both on off angles. Flash is coming in. And no one's looking at PowerPixel. 1 kill there. The trade is in time, but it shouldn't be enough. Only 18 seconds. An ult at Saunders' feet, and this one is done. Passion Project rally to somehow tie this half at 6 apiece.
That is a fantastic push to the finish right there. And that's important in a long day. Passion Project as a roster have never played a full best of 5. Now, obviously, if you press tab and look at all of the players on this roster, they have the experience, that's for sure. But as a roster, that's never been done. I think keeping it focused and locked in the mental game, especially if you have a blowout map on something that maybe you're not as accustomed to playing or don't, or you just have, you know, a string of 6 rounds in a row that you lose, it's important that already in the first half of game 1, they lose 6 in a row and immediately are fighting back.
Even after that Shopify loss, I think you kind of have to frame that one. It can either be we choked a winnable game, or we nearly beat the best team and have a chance for revenge. If they can use that, channel that to try and come back in this lowers, it would be massive. On this pistol round, though, Passion Project start putting a little bit pressure towards B long as there are 3 players from Fly on the other side, and they're primed to refight into this one. Double flash combo coming in, Jazzy gets away.
Passion Project do a great job of baiting out the utility and learning exactly what the setup is going to be. At the same time, the double lurk into showers has crept up, trying to give FlyQuest a bit of a taste of their own medicine. We'll see how active Passion Project get in their post plants. It's something that they warmed up to in their game yesterday, but this time around with players already rotating over, it's not even so simple for Passion Project to plant the spike with that Viper, Orb, and Molly down in the front of truck. Now the opportunity is there, but even a pull could interrupt that for a moment, and it does.
Smoke for backside though, but they don't have util to fight forward on this one. In fact, nothing left in the tank for even one of these players but a stim beacon. It all comes down to the gunfights to hold, and Lazy Lion's been dinged. Nade should finish them off, and somehow
They're alive?
They're still alive out of that one. Sonder will make right out of that situation, but these trades are excellent on the fight back in. Flash combo front sight. Wingman's getting to work, but there's a Claire triple that was unaccounted for. No one's watching Sabui, and she's found 2. But Wingman will still get the job done as FlyQuest recover and take a pistol.
Yeah, very nice retake there from FlyQuest. I mean, first of all, the amount of time they just spent delaying the spike, delaying it over and over. And Passion Project just didn't really have the gas in the tank left to keep on fighting. It makes sense, right? It's an eco round, so you're not as fully stocked up on your flashes, on your different pieces of util, so they didn't try to refight back into FlyQuest, and FlyQuest absolutely abused that with not really using anything to reclaim backside themselves. They just worked it in through U-Haul very, very nicely off the back of, again, I've got to keep shouting out Thea. She has been excellent thus far.
Four players will contact up through hookah in this round as they're trying to sell a little bit of fake, maybe get that spike down on B.
Look at all the stars, by the way, and just how annoying it is to actually work back through that space. Because they could just turn into pullbacks, right? But very easily, if you're fighting off that, that could have been a stun right there. It's not this time. And Passion Project have actually worked past that line into hookah, but they are jumping out into the mollies on the ground, into the pull as well. No, no, no. You're not getting through that.
The defense with the Astra is so tough to deal with. Because besides that Viper, who can also set up wall one side, have an orb on the other, you also have utility that will always be where you are and ready to react with a pull, with a stun. And I think that's especially tough for Passion Project, because they don't have a comp like Flies, where they're running the Gecko, where they have refreshable utility. Once their Initiator util and their Brim util is gone, they don't have more gas.
That they do, yeah. Both the attrition of a Brim and a Sky is definitely going to be felt. It's also going to be felt when you're going up against Blue Nuts Guardian. That just happens, quite simply. Pretty tough to avoid. Luckily for Passion Project, they could just move straight on to the next round.
Yeah, good to funnel those ults into the Raze early. Both Sonder and Dodo close to getting those key ultimates online. As this one pretty well dealt with for FlyQuest.
Enemy remaining.
Beautiful shots at the end there.
Very nice stuff. One thing, I mean, we'll see if Passion Project want to run some faster execs ever at some point in this half, but I don't really think it's something that A, they like to do as a team in the way they call, and B, compositionally it is very tough. That said, FlyQuest are going to be getting, very active down short.
3 players walking up. Power Pixel holding the line. That's a shot connecting onto 1, but a good trade out of Thea. Gun won't be recovered, but that's a solid 4v4 to find.
Yeah, Passion Project going to be quick to accelerate back over towards the B site, but like you were saying, Thea can still influence with stars, even though she is going to be the A anchor. Dodo already quick on the rotates over, and that Guardian is going to be a problem, especially if Passion Project overforce through this utility dump that FlyQuest can send outside of Hookah.
That pull still just sitting at Jazzy's feet, and they'll just turn into a smoke, and she's gone too high. Plucked out of the air by the opponent, Raze, and now this is a 3v2, but Lazy Lion might have just saved the round. Trades back onto Starbound. 50 seconds on the clock. They'll call the pivot.
Yeah, reading Thea on the rotate there. That's going to be a good call out from them. Importantly, though, rifles will be picked up. Dodonut is one shot. That's going to be tough to have impact, but Thea had full armor, now has a Phantom in the back, too. Passion Project going for a plant back into triple. As a matter of fact, Sabui getting a little bit active. They want to play a very forward little trade angle. Just lock these players up inside of pipes. Sabui creeping closer and closer on the swing there as well. Lazy Lion gets 3 in the round, and coming back out is Thea. Spam is good. It's a one-on-one out of nowhere. The spike is not planted for U-Haul either. Sabui's going to be forced to come back out here. Thea is reading it like a book. Downloaded and destroyed.
What a great round for Thea. From the success last year of being a last-minute IGL to EG, make the run all the way to GCC, and then having to start again here with this FlyQuest roster, really put something special together. And while she's become known as more of a veteran, more of a leader in the last year or so, she's still that player who came out early in her career and was a star fragger for a lot of teams. So win rounds like this for you. It's a Red Bull clutch and a big bonus conversion.
Dodonut just one away from the ultimate. Thea off of the 3K and the defuse, one off herself. FlyQuest can start snowballing into round 17 here, if all goes according to plan.
Thea again, the one to hold against this hit. But maybe a TP crunch coming through, just a flash instead. Lazy Lion gonna get caught off guard by this one. That's a nice satchel by Dodo. And they're ready for the repush on the other side as well. Flashing the backside, another good reaction. Thea somehow steadies the aim in time to find that kill and puts Sabui alone on 8 HP. Double digits to FlyQuest.
We are coming up on the most important round of the game for Passion Project here. Money-wise, it's going to be tight after this, but the ultimates are really what it means, right? We're going into FlyQuest win this. It's round 11, and FlyQuest are going to be investing a lot of ults here. Passion Project are going to have to pull out all the tricks, because, yeah, they don't have a buy going into the next round. They've got ults themselves. They're one off of unstable as well if a kill or something comes into the play, but I actually want to keep my eyes on Sonder, who's picked up the op over on the Gecko. Going to be looking down B long with that one.
Well, something cosplay out of Sonder? What's she going to do here?
Oh.
Nothing in that one. Lazy Lion somehow winning that fight from range, but the re-swing maybe a little too bold. Regains an even round here.
Still, though, I think that trade favors Passion Project, only losing the Cypher.
Dodonut. Top drop, holding the angle towards short. That is a beautiful shot, and the second one comes through as well. FlyQuest up by 2. And these last 2 players from Passion Project weren't initially spotted. The Roomba not seeing it either, but Dodo is ready on the line, but not fast enough to take down Sabui. Could cause more trouble. Thea somewhat caught in the back side of this site. A nade, an ult committed. Sabui unable to convert off that one, though. Thea's still alive for a little bit longer as rotates start to come in. Starbound here, but Lace far away, and the plant is invested.
Quick heal for Starbound back in spawn. The way Passion Project are playing this, getting back up into U-Haul, they have the option to keep pushing if they want, off of some audio from FlyQuest to make a little bit of noise dropping down into sight, but they have to clear so much as their player showers short. U-Haul might just need to get onto the spike.
On. Nothing left to work with here. Trying to hold this one halfway, but the molly at the feet. Sabui did swing, though. Only one left, but Jazzy has time on her side. Arumba in, Starbound trying to stick this one. The spam is there, and Jazzy finds both shots. An incredible Red Bull clutch to bring this one back for Passion Project. That was the round they needed, and she brings it home.
Are you kidding me? The 1v2 there. That is insane. Winning that one out. Honestly, the Boombot, I think, messing with Lace a little bit. not able to connect onto those shots immediately with the Boombot trailing at her. Passion Project very much still in this game. They've still got Seekers, they've still got a Raise Rocket. But the rounds don't get easier from here. It's another swing round from them against heavy ultimates.
FlyQuest already investing. Down A short. Saunders spots nothing on the Thrash until the very end, actually. And the Rocket will still come through off of this one. Jazzykins is launched into midair as Thea had to defend her teammate. They're now going to wrap all the way back around towards B. They can recover this ult, and the map has flipped completely. Passion Project have an open A, but they don't know it yet.
That's their only real sign of life here, is that they can get onto that site theoretically without using a lot. Sabui still has full utility, so the smokes are going to be able to come back down. The retake, though, is going to be brutal. FlyQuest can't play off-site because of the Cosmic Divide, and they can't really play on-site either because of the Thrash that's going to be ripped straight at them.
Here comes the second wave of the Thrash. Spots no players in U-Haul, in backside, and the plant isn't down yet. Molly's to further delay. But unstable, we'll be able to get that timer ticking. 5v4, Cosmic Divide for Thea. That'll cut this site in half. The players in U-Haul might just have to fight out and try and support Sabui, who's whiffing out on the shots. Dodo another. Wingman starting the clock on the defuse as Saunders swings to defend. Shorty through the wall, flashes both sides. Sonder and Lace take it home. FlyQuest 11.
That is such a good retake, Cosmic Divide. Every single player was isolated except for the two players that are stuck behind it over in U-Haul. And even then, they don't have a good line to swing and fight into backside. I mean, from start to finish, they had just crafted up about a perfect round here. Off the early aggro and then that wall she just unloaded. FlyQuest looking clean out here.
Another big turning point now. Passion Project taking the time out and running out of chances. The economy is looking rough. Only one big ultimate to work with here. And from what looked like it could have been a dominant map win from that first half, and even from the first part of this half as well, you know, having some moments there.
And don't forget,
slipping.
This is the map that Passion Project beat Shopify on. Now, they were in a very similar position, down, I believe, 12-8 at one point. Or, sorry, not 12-8. They're down 10-6. I think they were down 4 rounds versus Shopify and battled back. Maybe a little bit tougher, though, when you're looking at eco. And during this entire time out, by the way, Passion Project have been toying with different, like, buy configurations here. Whether it was, oh, do we go 2 Stingers? Oh, is Jazzy going to go now for a Guardian, Hero Guardian, because there's still a buy into another round? Then I suppose if she's able to get a kill, she can chuck that gun back to someone else and use the showstopper to get into a site. You're sort of looking at some options in this round in a timeout like that, but really, how do they win the last one? And it's going to look like setting up Jazzy for an early fight here onto short that went Dodo Nuts' way so many times.
Dodo has been incredible this map. And they are holding her, but she'll drop away. Damage exchanged. And a heal up. Now, the execute's going to come in. No one playing front side. FlyQuest is full setup for the retake here.
Passion Project very happy to get the plant down in this one. Flashing into back site, looking for a fight, but it's not quite there. They still have a flash and a dog for the post plant, and even a very forward trip to play off of.
But there's so much util on this retake. Smokes to block off back site. A flash combo ready to go. But the dog didn't clear that trip.
4 through heaven.
Cause a little trouble here. There's that flash combo. Dodo Nut opens up the round, and it is all FlyQuest. A flawless retake on that one. I mean, this comp is just so damn good at playing that Flood.
And also just like the calling there changes everything, because all their other retakes have been much heavier through pipes, but I think they hear a tripwire go down, they hear that fight into back site, so they change their pattern and throw so much utility out of heaven, flood 4 players out of that, and just avoid walking into that zone of death right outside of pipes where there's a molly that could have interrupted them. I really like what Thea has been crafting round to round in this one, and it's why they're on match point now.
You can't help but point out the impact that Saunders Gecko has had throughout this one as well. I feel like we've seen so many rounds where Passion Project, towards the end, running out of flashes, running out of chances, while FlyQuest just has set util combo after set util combo in this round. Ults are up, though. Passion Project maybe trying to call another quick round here. They're fast up through A. Dodonut is satcheling forward past the rocket, and the fights are successful for Fly. In comes the ult from Sonder. Around the corner, Sabui, and the teammate is detained, but Sonder finds the trade. It's not beautiful, but it's successful. And this map is all but done. Unstable left alone. A 1 versus 5. And before the round even starts, it is finished. A dog, a stun, and FlyQuest just around the corner from finding themselves up 1 in this best out of 5.
FlyQuest playing with their food a little bit at the end right there. What an opening game from FlyQuest. Again, Bind was supposed to be the territory where Passion Project are running away with it. You beat Shopify on a map, that becomes yours. But FlyQuest came in with fantastic calling, great individual play, and only allow Passion Project a single round on their attacking side. It was lights out from Fly.
FlyQuest are looking great in this lower bracket run thus far, but map 2 of Icebox is coming out after the break.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Hey guys, it's Jimmy Lin. In this series, I'm going to walk you through Attack on Pearl. Watch out for the stairs, clear this angle, you're going to be able to fight this.